Hi there. So I'm back and I'm here. I'm returning to resume our series. So today is going to be day 100. And let's start off with our quote of the day. So it's going to be Matthew chapter 22, verse 37. Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind." Okay, so that's our quote of the day. And um, for the Powershell today on day 100, we're going to be looking at the topic validating script parameters. Yeah. All right, so let's get started. So what is a validation? So validating like script parameters. So that's in PowerShell. That's to ensure validating the script parameters, meaning you could set parameters, meaning that that if you don't set parameters, they're pretty much like optional. So let's go over to our script here so you can see an example. So these are the parameters we set up on day 99 if you looked at our previous video. And you could set up these are the parameters here. So we set up one with a string, data type of a string, and this is the variable, and this is what we assign the variable. Now you could also just, so we hard coded some values that we would accept. So when you run the script, these are the parameters that it will use. You could also just leave it like this and it would still run. So I'll just show you the example here. So you could see it actually took the variable book, and you can see this is the script that we're running and writing to the screen. Write host, the book, chapter, and then we hard coded a colon there, then the verse, and then the quote. So you can see it took the Matthew from the book variable, the chapter from the chapter variable, the verse from the verse variable, and then the actual quote, which is what we put here. All right, so what is it that right here these parameters are not being validated. So meaning that if I didn't like declare anything, so let's say I didn't hard code a value, it's not going to prompt me for the value. It's just going to go ahead and bypass. When I say bypass, it'll just, if there's nothing set for the book variable, okay, I'm just going to continue on. And the same thing applies for if I didn't even declare the book variable as part of the script, it still will just move on, as you could see here. All right, so that's how it looks like when it's not validated. So let's say we want to validate it. So this is how you would do it. So you would actually put our parameter in. You'll have to set it like with a mandatory. So let's do that. So we'll start with like the simplest one. So right above the actual field that or the variable that we want to put the parameter validation on. So we'll do it right above. So we want to apply this to the book variable. So we'll put parameter. All right, so it'll be parameter, and then we'll put open the apprentices, and then we'll put mandatory, and then put equal to true. Okay. All right, so I'll just skip this line here, so it'll kind of show you what we're doing here. So what is this doing here is pretty much this is kind of like the validation rule I want to apply to this specific parameter. So what we're doing here is we're saying, hey, for this parameter rule, I need it to be required. I need it to have a value here. So that's what it's telling us here. So let's say, now take a look at the parameter. So when we put in the mandatory equals true, so it'll always prompt us for a value. So if we let's say we didn't have a value here, we're going to take off the value too. So it'll always prompt you because we put the mandatory as true. So let's go ahead and check this out. We'll run it. As you can see, it prompted us. So now, so I'll just put a test, and then you might get test, and that's where you get this. It completed the rest. So we know. So let's run our script again, and this time we'll put the correct thing, and So it'll prompt us and we'll type in Matthew, and there you go. So it'll show you Matthew and then the whole code, everything that was written out here. So that's how it prompts you for that you need to put in a value there. Now there are other values you could use. There's other validation parameters you could use. You could use like if you wanted to validate a range. Let's say you could only put a range in between here for a number. So let's do that. So how would you do that? It will validate the range. So maybe we could just put we'll put validate range. Okay, so validate range, and then we'll open it up. So you can put a range of numbers that will only be allowed. So we'll just put 1 to like maybe 100. Okay, so what this means is it'll only accept the range of 1. So let's remove that, and we'll just only apply this to the chapter for now. So alright, so this will be chapter. So just to put that here, just to show you. Okay, so what we're doing is we're applying the this validation rule, validate range. So let's put this parameter over here as well, so we can get the prompt for this. And let's run it. Alright, so it prompts us for this one. So we do Matthew, and then let's just make sure we got it correct. So it will be, we want to put 22 here. So you can see, so let's put like maybe 1 out of the range. So I put 101. And you can see it came out of range because it's validating for the range of 1 to 100. Okay, so let's do that again. Alright, so it'll be Matthew. And then we'll ask you for the chapter, and we're going to put 22, which is in the range, so it should allow us to go through. And there you go. So you can see if we didn't put it correctly here, we put it outside of a range, you would get that error. So this is some validation rules. Now there are other rules you can apply. You could even do validation set, and then you could put some like multiple choice answers saying, hey, it could either be this, this, or this. So just check that it'll only accept those values that you put. So that's validation. You could put validate set here. So there's a few others you could do. I won't cover all of them today, but you get an idea. Like if you just go to the help file, you could use like validate pattern, and you put some regex expressions in there. You could do validate script. You could do a few others. You could just run the help command and see how to do that. Alright, so let's close off with our quote of the day, which is Matthew chapter 22 verse 37. Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. Alright, don't forget to read your Bible. And if you're not going to church, find a good Bible-based church, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.